What's up, team? Just a little update to discuss some formatting stuff for the channel moving forward. So this video has the Apocryphal tag. That's going to be my tag to signify not safe for work, 18 plus video. And if a video is tagged Apocryphal, it's probably going to be like themes discussed verbally. I doubt that I'm really going to show not safe for work content visually, like on camera. I am on YouTube. I'm trying to stay on YouTube, and I'm mindful of that. So, you know, it's probably mostly going to be like conversation. It's going to be like adult, mature themes will come up in the audio contents of videos that are tagged Apocryphal. You know, I guess you could argue my videos are already borderline with that, with, you know, an abundance of F-bombs and beers consumed. But, you know, when it comes to things actually discussed in the video, sometimes it might be more adult in nature. And, you know, if and when that arises, you know, well, first off, it's just going to be true to the live experience that I had that I'm, you know, conveying on camera. But, you know, I would want to approach such things in, I mean, I don't necessarily want to say an academic sense, but in some sort of like constructive conversational sense, if that makes sense. Anyways, I'm giving a shot at doing some more shorter form kind of content. This isn't exactly a short, it's still going to be like a 10-minute video or something. But, you know, the main entries are right now going to be in that 20 to 30 minute range. Going to roll with that for a while. Might start increasing that even as time goes on. But, you know, going to give a shot at putting out some, I guess, bonus content, some more behind the scenes kind of stuff, if you will. And those might be a little shorter. And those may or may not be apocryphal. If they are, they will be tagged as such. And if not, you know, won't be something you have to worry about. As time goes on, I might move apocryphal stuff over to Patreon. I do have a Patreon right now, although I'm not doing much with it yet. You know, I'm just starting this channel, and I don't have much in the way of like bonus membership content to kind of offer. That being said, if you feel like becoming a member, you know, your generous donation is always appreciated, and it would go towards keeping me on the road and supplying the next chapter in the Dharma Voyage. Thanks to everyone who's watching so far, enjoying it, engaging with me, YouTube, Instagram. If you feel like checking out the Patreon, I'm trying to make Patreon a little more like blog posty kind of deal. So that might be worth your time if you're into what we're doing. And yeah, just stay tuned. We got a lot more coming. Thanks.
Okie dokie. Whew. Yeah. I found my Manga Kissa. That was a success. It was funny, actually. So it was right here next to the McDonald's, still out in front of it. I walk in here on the ground floor, and there's a couple, and I asked them if it was in this building, you know, and sumimasen, Manga Kissa. First they said no, and I started to walk away, and I got maybe 10 steps down the street, and this woman ran out to flag me down and told me that it was indeed there. You know, I guess there was just some misunderstanding, but very, very kind of her to go that much out of her way to flag me down and bring me back. So anyways, I get up in there, supposed to register, there's no one at the desk, supposed to register through an app. I try that. Everything's in Japanese. I'm screenshotting, using Google Translate, blah, blah, blah. I get stonewalled on the app. I don't see anybody, so I just start shouting, "Sumimasen!" to get someone's attention. I only said it like twice, but I said it loudly. And so finally, another one of the patrons came out, and he found the shopkeep for me. The guy came out, He spoke absolutely zero English. We had to do Google Translate to communicate. Thank God for fucking Translate. Like, doing this shit, I'm so fucking spoiled, like, that's even possible. You know, we're able to type out a conversation, not even type out, we talked into my iPhone and it translated for us. You know, plenty of people were doing this shit way before that was even possible. I have no idea how I would have done business with that guy without that. It was difficult even with doing it. So anyways, you know, he lets me skip the registration. I just pay. I tried to rent 1 hour. He wouldn't rent me 1 hour. He made me take 2. Whatever. And so then I pay. And first thing, I forget to zip up my fanny pack where I keep my coins. Coins spill out everywhere. You know, and this is like a quiet place, like people are reading, studying, or sleeping, you know, and I am doing, you know, just being a gigantic, loud American, which, hey, I am who I am. I got, you know, always try and carry myself with respect for where I am, the culture, the norms, but I am who I am, and at a certain level can't help it. And then I get in there, and it's like a cubicle with a little sliding door. The sliding door is so narrow, like I had to squeeze through it. This country is not designed for giant American men. It's not. But that's okay. So, anyways, did my charging. It was great to get off my feet and just chill for a little while. There's a computer there, at least a 10, 15-year-old computer. It was running slow as shit, but I just watched some YouTube on my phone charged, camera, more so the camera. But got that taken care of. I was glad to have the 2 hours. I wound up bouncing, I don't know, 15 minutes early, because the night's not over yet. But it was a silly experience. I'm glad I checked that one off the list, you know. I mean, and shit, I can use a Manga Cafe anytime. You just like need to rest for an hour or two. It's great. I've thought about this a lot. There's not anything like that really in the States. So, over the years, I have spent some time being unhoused, by and large, voluntarily so. But, you know, nonetheless, it is a truth. And in these situations, you know, sometimes you just need a place to like exist. You know, in the US, all the third places are like, you know, restaurants, bars, coffee shops, stores. You know, other than just like going and sitting in the park, there's really nowhere in public you can go to just kind of veg out. You know, you go to a coffee shop and like you lay down on a bench, they'll kick you out of there. You know, it's like get out of here, you fucking bum. But so I really like that. Like, internet cafes were a thing in the States. You know, I guess really before Wi-Fi became ubiquitous, smartphones and all that, when, you know, to use the internet, we were all still tethered to a desktop more or less. So internet cafes aren't really a thing in the States anymore. They should be. It's great. I paid 1,300 yen, which was like $8.60, and I just got to rest for 2 hours. Use the computer, charge my phone. You know, they had like sodas and coffees that if you were a paying customer, you could just, it was included. And they had a big library of manga to, that, you know, was for you to read there. I didn't. read any. It was all in Japanese, and I was also just focused on what I was doing. This may or may not be apocryphal. I might include it in the main release, but something that was really funny at the manga cafe. You know, logged onto the computer. There were a bunch of icons at the bottom, you know, on the desktop, and one of them said 18 with a heart around it. So naturally I clicked on it. I couldn't help myself. And yes, it was links to porn. And, you know, it's like you're in a cubicle in this, you know, semi-private space, but like you're in a public establishment. Are people going to manga cafes to whack off? I don't know. I mean, like the link, it was there, the link was there, you know, and not only was it there, like there was a big icon advertising it. I don't know. I'm hopeful that patrons of manga cafes are a little more wholesome. You know, I love the idea of just, you know, going to a place to read, use the computer and relax, get out of the house. Especially when I'm traveling like this. It was very clutch just now. But I don't know. Are people in there pushing rope? I guess so.